Hello. On my last video, I showed you on our trip how our cabinet in our bathroom came off the wall, not totally off the wall, but was just hanging there by the bottom two screws. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hang that and show you a few things, what I found out. Start off with here, I want to show you a print that I got from Jayco on a previous question I had. And let me show you something here. Okay, as you could see right here, looks like the metal backers for that cabinet, that wall cabinet. And you know, there's two horizontal pieces and two long vertical pieces. I'll go out there now and show you a few things that I found out. So using a flashlight, I don't know if you could see this. But I could see some metal sheeting on these two lower holes. But up here at the top holes, I did not see any metal sheeting. Now, I used this stud finder, and it's supposed to also detect metal studs, and it has to be on this position here, deep scan, and it's not real accurate. I come up with some erroneous things, but anyway, I did come across here like this. And right there it's showing the start of a metal backing plate. And it continues all the way to that edge right there. Now come back. And it starts there, but originally it didn't start till right about there. So these two holes didn't catch any metal. The bottom two did, but not these top two. So I'm not going to put bigger screws. At first I was going to just put a bigger screw in each of these holes, but seeing as it did not catch the metal here, and I need to show you something else here on the cabinet itself. Okay, opening this cabinet, you can see the top two holes right here, and these little square supports, this one's short on both sides. See that, how it's short? So even if I install the screws, there's not enough of this support. I need the screws way over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these vertical supports on each side and put the screws in those vertical ones. And then I'll probably still use the bottom ones because, well, I'll move the bottom ones over because I want to get them in fresh holes. So I did have a couple of cracks because this issue here. There's a crack here, and there's a crack right here. But I could probably get some putty there and touch these up a little bit, make them look a little bit better. And also, I added some screws on the back of this, right here, but I'm also going to add some right here to that vertical support. So I'll be back in just a few here and start putting this thing on. I'm also going to use some liquid nails, and I'm just going to dab a few spots here, 4 corners probably. Be right back. Well, I got it mounted. It fought me and it fought me. So I ended up putting 2 screws, one in each side here. It's hard to see. Right there and right there. And down here at the bottom, I ended up putting 3. Now the support cracked a little bit. I pre-drilled it. I guess the screw, I did end up putting bigger screws on the bottom, and instead of 2, I put 3. So it does seem pretty solid, and I'm very happy with it right now. But a little tip here is that I would put a board, well, if you could find a support for the board, or get a second person. But usually when they put wall cabinets in a house, they put a ledger board to hold the cabinet while they attach it, and that way you don't have to hold it. But yeah, and I had a level, and if I put it exactly on the level, then you could see that there was the cabinet was cocked on the wall. So I ended up using the level somewhat, but I also visually looked and made, want it to look aesthetic, even on the walls against the shower and against this wall here. So, but she is back on, and let's hope she lasts a long time now. I'm pulling on it, tugging on it, not too hard, but it seems like it's mounted pretty solid now. Alright, if you ever have this problem on your Jayco, you know what to do. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Well, I did get the cabinet hung, and did a few more things I didn't think I was going to end up doing here. That light flickers, so I'm going to turn that off. But one of the things I did, let me get the light here. One of the things I did was add these blocks in the corner, because originally this support here did not go all the way to the end. So I put these blocks in. I had to pre-drill these holes too. I cracked one of the blocks because I didn't drill it out big enough. So I also used construction adhesive, and got that in there. Got one on this side, right there. So I've got screws on both sides there. These were the original location screws. I just stuck those back in there, just to fill the hole. But as I said earlier, is the metal backers did not go this far. They weren't installed inward this far. They were more outward. So one of the things I did was I got this awl, AWL, right here. And as you remember earlier, I said that I used this stud finder, and supposedly it's supposed to be able to find metal studs. It's kind of quirky, so I use this awl to double check. Now don't push too hard, but I was able to go through the luan, because that's thin wood, and just beyond that I was able to, it came to a stop when I hit that metal backer. So I confirmed where the metal backers were. So I also have these screws at the bottom here. I put 3 of those in there. Originally I had 2, so I added a 3rd one. And this is just a little black mark here they must have used at the factory. There's a a cover plate that goes at the bottom of that I still need to install. But I gently pulled on it, and it's in there solid. So I don't think I'm going to have any more problems with this thing. Oh, also I wanted to talk about these screws. So this was the original screw type right here, about 1 3/4 inches. And you really need screws to go into metal, not wood screws. And I'm going to show you the difference here. The wood screw is on the left and the metal screw is on the right. The wood screw has a more of a blunt tip there, and it doesn't penetrate the metal very well. And be very careful that you use the same length screw, because you don't want to drive these things all the way through into the outside wall and have a whole, screw protruding on the outside wall. So be very careful about that. So anyway, better than factory. I anticipate this lasting a long time. Thank you. Have a good night.